Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmadu wa nusalli ala Rasulil amma ba'd. If I can request everyone to come closer, inshallah. And we will begin. Imam Siraj Wahaj, for those who don't know, he accepted Islam, I believe, in the early 90s.
1975.
I'm so sorry. 1975. About 50 years ago. That's when he accepted Islam, pioneers. He's got incredible stories of nations of Islam, which I hope that somehow we will hear about as well. Imam Siraj Wahaj, as I mentioned to you, he's one of the Imam that you would call the ground working, the street Imam. The Imam who works the streets from Harlem to New York to Jersey, and he's the people's person. I tell you, I vividly remember Imam Siraj was asking today, he said, do you really remember? I said, I remember being 8 years old, entering Franklin High School, in the classroom. We were standing there, and the first time I saw a person born in America speak about Islam, and I was mind blown. And he spoke about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I was remarkable. I told him as a joke, I said, I didn't even know black people could be imams until I saw him at that time. And we only saw the daisies. So when we saw this, we were shocked. But then I told him as well, I said, years later, as I grew older, I realized the same spirituality I find in my teachers and around my teachers in Darul Zakaria. When I sit around Imam Siraj and I hear his words, I feel the same way. So without any further delay, the floor is yours, Sheikh. Inshallah, may Allah SWT reward and bless you. Please enlighten us with whatever comes to your heart, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillahi sallallahu. Brothers and sisters, may Allah bless you on this conference that you had. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, increase your knowledge. And I want to begin with a supplication. Can you hear me? Yes. It doesn't sound like this power. I like power in my life. Allahumma inna bika min ilm la yanfa'u. I seek refuge with Allah from knowledge and total benefit. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. The day that I was born, my mother told me that my uncle looked at me and said, he's going to be a preacher. Preacher is a religious leader in the Christian faith. And when I was a teenager, I taught Sunday school in church. When I joined the Nation of Islam, I became a minister in the Nation of Islam. And when I became a Muslim, I became an Imam. I knew that, but my mother told me recently that my aunt said the same thing when I was born, he's going to be a preacher. So I hope that this, I don't know how long we're going to be. We may be at 20 minutes, we may be half an hour, maybe an hour. It may go beyond that, I don't know. Depends on you. I remember I was 7 years old on a Sunday, living in the Marcy Projects and getting ready to go to church. I was getting dressed. And I said to my mother, why we gotta go to church anyway? My mother took out a belt and she whacked me. And she said, now you understand? I said, yes, ma'am. But I didn't understand. I want to tell you a little bit about the Nation of Islam. How many of you heard something about the Nation of Islam? Malcolm X. In the Nation of Islam, I want to be honest with you. We called ourselves Muslims, but it really wasn't Islam. But we believed we had faith. Me, I knocked on thousands of doors trying to invite them to what I thought was Islam. Thousands of doors. And in the Nation of Islam, although we didn't have the right Aqidah, there's something that we had. I need two brothers, two volunteers. No, I want you. No, you two. You're standing. You're standing. So remember now, I'm in the Nation of Islam, like Muhammad Ali, like Malcolm X. And I used to go by myself, selling a 25-cent newspaper, so you can imagine the sound of change in my pocket. I was walking on Eastern Parkway and I saw a building. I'm about to go into the building to knock on doors. And I see two young men in the hallway. One on the right looked mean. No. I make this flow. You gotta look mean. Okay. And the one on the left looked reasonable. My question to you, should I go into the hallway? Yeah, you say yeah. Would you go in the hallway? I go in the hallway, I take a Muhammad Speaks newspaper and put it under his arm, and another one under his arm. I said, give me 25 cents. True story. The guy on the right looked at me, took out a gun, and said, you just can't rob a Muslim. Put his gun back in his pocket and gives me 25 cents. He gives me 25 cents for Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Okay. He did good. I'm saying that for a reason. Though we are not technically Muslims, but in our heart we believe that we are Muslims and we were following the religion of Islam. 1975, Elijah Muhammad died. Elijah Muhammad, the head of the Nation of Islam, why was that significant when he died? He died one day before our national holiday in the Nation of Islam. Why was that significant? Because all of the major leaders and people of the Nation of Islam was gathered together in Chicago. I was there too. His son, at that time, Minister Wallace Muhammad, took over the Nation of Islam, and he never agreed with the ideology of his father. And he transformed us into Muslims. I'm hoping today to kind of push us to do better. May Allah bless all the good that you do. May Allah bless you. Can I give you an Arabic grammar lesson? Would you accept that? In English, you have what's called the comparative, a superlative. Something is good, something is better, something is the best. Arabic ismu tafdil. It's called ismu tafdil. وَمَا تُنْفِقُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَلِأَنفُسِكُمْ. Allah said in the Quran, whatever good you spend is for yourself. Allah asks, please, why did you bow down when I ordered you to? I'm better than that. You created me. Now this is Shaitan, Iblis talking. Listen to the admission. You created me of fire. You created him of mud. وَمَا تُنْفِقُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَلِأَنفُسِكُمْ. Whatever good you spend for yourself, أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِنْهُ. And this, my topic today, كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةٍ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ. You are the best. You are the best of the people for mankind. You enjoy the good and you forbid the evil. You're the best. And I want to ask ourselves the question tonight, are we the best? Aisha radiallahu anha, she narrated over 2,500 hadith. Abu Hurairah more than 5,000 hadith. But the difference is when Abu Hurairah comes to the door of the Prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam, you don't go in. But Aisha, she's there, radiallahu anha. So she can say things about him that she knows, the private man. People know the public Muhammad alayhi salam. She knows the private man behind the door. كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يذكر الله على كل أحيان. And the messenger of Allah remembered Allah in every circumstance. Always remembered Allah. Now, when you study the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends messages on different levels. You know, you mind if I drink some more? You want some? You know, Allah, He has a way of teaching lessons. Like, for instance, right? Kutiba alaykum as-siyam. That's a message. Fasting is prescribed for you. But listen what comes next. Come back! Come back! Kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Just like those who came before you. Fasting is prescribed for you. Just like. He put that in for a reason. لَعَلَكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you have taqwa. I'm saying all of this is for a reason. I'm going somewhere. I do know where I'm going. It takes me a couple of minutes to get there. But I do know where I'm going, inshallah. Just like those who came before you. I'm saying that for a reason. I heard an Imam teach this lesson. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas. You the best, you the best, you the best. And he was bragging, you the best, you the best, but he never gave the rationale. You the best. You enjoin the good and you forbid the evil. Went to a Muslim store, I've been going for years. And that day I saw a sign that I never saw before. I've been going there for years. It said, no alcohol sold here. Isn't that good? Isn't that nice? Muslim store. Right? No alcohol sold here. Until I read it more carefully. No alcohol sold here on Sundays before 2 p.m. Why I say that? كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. The rationale. تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. You enjoin the good and you forbid the evil. I'm going somewhere with this about who we are. A man, he comes to the masjid and he makes salat. The Prophet is sitting there. And then when he finished making salat, he said, Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. He said, Wa alaikum assalam farjit fasalli fa innaka lam tusalli. Go back and pray, for you have not prayed. The man, he goes back and he pray again. He says, Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah, wa alaikum assalam farjit fasalli fa innaka lam tusalli. Go back and pray. And the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said, the man said, Ya Rasulullah, I don't know a prayer better than this. So the Prophet taught him how to make salat. How important is salat? Every once in a while when you study the Quran and Hadith, you will see something happening in the future. The people in Jannah, every once in a while, can see the people in hellfire and communicate. What are you doing in the hellfire? We're not those who used to make prayer. Are you serious? Who you think you are? Who you think you are? You're not making prayer? Now they're in the hellfire. And we would not feed the poor. Now, why would you be in the hellfire? So listen carefully, because tonight I'm going to be Nadir. You know Nadir? You know Nadir? What's Nadir? A one. Coming straight from the Quran and the Sunnah. Listen. وأنزل التوراة فيها هدى ونور. And we sent down the Torah. In it is guidance and light. And gave him, Isa, al-Injil, fihi hudam wa nur. In it is guidance and light. Permitted for you to marry to chase women of the people of the book. Why? Because they were given the same commandment. Permitted for you to eat the food of the people of the book. Why? Because you were given the same commandment. And then you warned us. لا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم. Don't be like those who forgot Allah, therefore Allah caused them to forget themselves. Permission to be honest tonight? I say this, what I'm going to say, inshallah, with respect and trying to make us to be the best. Always we're going to compare with خَيْرُ أُمَّةِ قَارِنِي ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَلُونَهُمْ ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَلُونَهُم. The best of my ummah is my generation. And then the generation that follows it, and then the generation that follows it. The best of my ummah, my generation. كُنْتُمْ خَيْرُ أُمَّةٍ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ. You're the best of the people of all for mankind. But Mufti gives talks. Mufti Wasim and others give talks. The purpose of the talk is to do two things, at least two things. Number one, to benefit ourselves. I have benefited from Islam. Did I pray as a Christian? Yeah, you can say that, but not 5 times a day. When I became Muslim, I prayed, 90-something thousand salats. I did the math one day. I said, oh, wow, man, look at that. Yeah, what? I want to make sure that we receive our reward on Yom Al-Qiyamah. Allah warns us. لا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم. Don't you be like those who came before you who forgot Allah. Therefore Allah caused them to forget themselves. Again, I can stop. Permission to be honest tonight? Because I want you to do something. I told Mufti that I just returned from UK. I was in Birmingham, London, and Manchester and a few other cities. And as the brothers were driving me around, they were talking about the Muslims in the United Kingdom. How many been to the United Kingdom? And they were telling me in details about the brothers in the United Kingdom. They said the prisons in the United Kingdom may be 20-25% Muslims. How they sold drugs and gangs and things like that. Why? The good news about the United States, according to the FBI, every year 350,000 inmates become Muslims. You know, it's not just Malcolm X. Many brothers came from the prison. I know many brothers in my masjid used to be in prison. Alhamdulillah, they accepted Islam in prison and they came out. And some of the best Muslims in my community, brothers and some sisters who used to be in prison. I'm saying this to make sure that we don't go back. Aisha radiallahu anha asked her husband, the messenger of Allah, Ya Rasulullah, هل أتى عليك يوم كان أشد من يوم أحد? Has there been a day more difficult than Uhud? Think about the battle of Uhud. Remember the battle of Uhud? The Muslims were about to win. They're right there, the victory is there. And the Prophet ﷺ ordered them not to leave the post. No matter what happens, don't leave your post. They did. As a result, a victory became a loss. 85 Muslims died. The Battle of Uhud. Prophet's uncle, Hamza, died. She said, was their day more difficult than that? Yeah. That wasn't the most difficult day. You know the most difficult day? When you went to Taif. To do what? Invite the people to Islam. What, say that again, Imam? He went to type to do what? Invite people to Islam. How many people have we invited to Islam? Some of the best followers are right there in the street, in the gangs. We would go to them. I ask the Muslims all over everywhere I go, how many of you invite people to the masjid? I'm saying that, brothers and sisters, because alhamdulillah, in the nation of Islam, although we weren't real Muslims, but we had good intention. Let me give an example. Do you know in the nation of Islam, they say Elijah Muhammad is a prophet? The prophet said, وَلَكِنْ لَا نَبِيَّ بَعْدِي, there's no prophet after me. So we reject that. You know in the nation of Islam, they didn't make salat. We used to stand up like this, with our hands up, and pray. No rak'ah, no sujood. Did you know in the nation of Islam, we never fasted in Ramadan? We fasted in December. But something miraculous happened. 1 year, one man transformed the nation of Islam to Muslims. Which means that we can do the same thing. Ever heard of, I just mentioned United Kingdom? In 1900, the United Kingdom was 11 million square miles. 11 million square miles. The British used to brag that the sun never set on the British Empire. That's how big, 24 time zones. How many states in the United States?
50.
You're not talking to me tonight. We tight. You don't want to talk to me? I'm going to ask you one more time. Don't let me ask you again. How many states in the United States?
50.
Thank you. One state. This state. Almost 3 times bigger than the United Kingdom. 390 million people. What's the most populated country? India.
China.
And China. How many people?
1.4 billion.
Yes. 3rd most populated nation.
Indonesia.
Huh?
Indonesia.
Excuse me? Who said Indonesia? Who said that? No. What's the 3rd most populated nation? Huh?
United States.
United States. 300 million. We the 3rd most. I'm sorry. Yeah, 300 million. 3rd most populated nation. But what happened? Be careful. The Prophet ﷺ warned us that a person could be this close to Jannah like you are now. Make your salat 5 prayers a day, you fast a month of Ramadan, and then they begin to do the deeds of the people and not for yadkhuluha, and they enter it. On the one hand. On the other hand, people like the nation of Islam that close to hellfire. And then they begin to do the deeds of the people of Jannah for yadkhuluha. So this is my message tonight. We have a lot of work to do. It's no tough deal. Someone asked the Prophet ﷺ, Man akramun nas. The word kareem means honorable. Akram means the most honorable. Men akramun nas. Who's the most honorable? Who did he say? Some of you don't want to talk to me tonight. I'm going to go touch you on the shoulder. I'm serious. You don't want to talk to me? You don't want to talk to me? You want me to leave? I can leave now. Some of you say, yeah, go ahead. I heard that, man. Boy. So listen. من أكرم الناس قال يوسف نبي الله ابن Khalil. Yusuf, a prophet, the son of a prophet, the grandson of a prophet, the great-grandson of a prophet, Ibrahim alayhi salam. So I want us to do better. I'm seeing Muslims leave the deen. I'm watching the youth leave the deen. It's a big trial. It's difficult. Allah blessed me with 9 children. Every one of them went to a full-time Muslim school. And that don't mean that they're going to be Muslim. But when you put a young child in a non-Islamic environment and they're not strong, then it's very difficult. And many of them, they leave the deen. In the public school, I see. It don't mean that if you send them to a Muslim school, they're going to be the best Muslims ever, but they got a better chance in the right environment. So all I'm saying today, brothers and sisters, that all of the knowledge that we get, good, alhamdulillah. You be a good Muslim, alhamdulillah. But I think the real issue is what you do for the people. I think, this is my opinion, when I see the brothers in the Nation of Islam, I love them today. I buy their paper called The Final Call. It used to be called Muhammad Speaks. I buy the paper. Whenever I see them, sometimes I buy it. There's a store in my neighborhood, I buy the paper. And sometimes I'm driving, I see one of the brothers from the Nation of Islam. I hide the paper so they can't see that I already have it. I say, yo brother, give me a paper. Give me a bean pie. And I talk to them. Many of them have become Muslims. Don't shun them. Don't shun the people. Go after the people. Care about the people. Can I tell you my trip from London to Iceland? I had a layover in Iceland, and then I took a flight to JFK. Now, I'm sitting in first class, by the way. I love first class. No, I really do. No, I really do. I'm used to it. This is why when he put me on this flight here, I said, oh, okay. So listen, right? So I'm sitting in, I think 4B. And next to me, to my right in the window, I'm sitting on the aisle seat, in the window seat, is an elderly man from Iceland, white man. And during the trip, he said, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. I said, no problem, go ahead. So in about 15 minutes later, he said, I gotta go again. I said, no problem. This time, I beat him. I said, you gotta go? He said, yes. So he went to the bathroom. And I said, anytime you want to go, no problem. And he said, he looking at me, what are you? I said, I'm a Muslim. Yeah. I said, think about this plane that we are riding in, right? Plane, P-L-A-N-E. I'm talking to him. He said, yes. I said, let's say we got 500 passengers. Let's say the plane is traveling 5,500 miles per hour, 5,000, whatever it is. He said, yeah. I said, this plane has a pilot, right? He said, yes. I said, this earth is also a plane. P-L-A-N-E. Huh? Who's the pilot? It's traveling 1,037 miles per hour. This plane carries food. We eating the food that the plane carries. This plane called Planet grows its own food. This plane carries water, and we drinking the water while we're on the plane, while the plane is flying, and while this plane is flying, it has its own water. He said, wow. You know what he asked me? You have an email? I said, yes, sir. I gave him my email. And every day, I'm looking to see if he emailed me. Every day, no. And finally he emailed me. That began a discussion of dawah. You know why? Let me tell you why my conclusion. How many ever been to Doubletree Hotel? California. Went to Doubletree Hotel. And in every room there was a card that said when you care it shows. I've come to the conclusion when you don't care it shows. Right now, America's in trouble. You know, if you study this, our country's in trouble. Albert Einstein said that the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch and do nothing. Reminds me of a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. He talked about good people and bad people being in a boat. And someone begins to drill a hole in the boat. He said, if you stop them, you save them and yourself. If you let them go, you destroy them and you destroy yourself. That's the way it is. Martin Luther King Jr. said that we all came to America on different ships, but we were in the same boat. If we do nothing about what's going on in the world, what's going on in Gaza, what's going on in Palestine, what's going on in America, what's going on in Russia, if we ignore it, it will be destroyed. You and I are the ones who can make a difference. The question is, do you even care? So I am going to conclude with, Allah really blessed us to be Muslim. How many of you were born Muslim? Raise your hand. Look around. Look around. Good. How many of you, like me, converted to Islam? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. These little guys. Huh? No. Huh? I just say this, that I really think that we can do better. We can do much better. I know it's like uncomfortable to talk to people. You say people don't want to hear that. They do. They need to hear it. People in trouble, brother, sisters, really. People in drugs, alcohol, they're in trouble. Do you even care? I think maybe because I was a non-Muslim, maybe I may seem to care more than most people, but you'd be surprised. I just gave a shahada to a brother this past Friday. Today's what? Saturday? Today's Saturday, right? Today's Saturday? Yes. It's yesterday. Gave a brother shahada in our masjid. And it is so great. He was so happy. So what I would like to see in my conclusion is that, it makes a lot. You know something? I asked one of the students, if you had one wish, what would you wish for? He said, I would wish that me and my family go to Jannah. I said, I thought you would say that. The Prophet ﷺ said that he gave all of the prophets a dua that would be answered. And he said the prophets rushed to make their dua. He said, I saved mine until Yawm al-Qiyamah. Why? You think you love the Prophet? Umar radiallahu anhu said, Ya Rasulullah, لَأَنْتَ حَبُّ إِلَيَّ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ إِلَى نَفْسِي. You are more beloved to me than everybody except myself. قال لا والذي نفسي بيدي يا عمر حتى أكون أحب إلي من نفسك. You don't have real faith, iman, until I am more loved by you even than yourself. قال الآن يا رسول الله لأنت أحب إلي من نفسي. You are now myself, more beloved to me than myself. He said, now ummati. But you know what? No matter how much you think you love the Prophet, والسلام, the Prophet loved us more than we love him. He raised his hand, Allahumma ummati ummati wa baka. He raised his hand and said, oh Allah, my ummah, and he started crying. Jibril, idhab ila Muhammad fa'as'ahu ma yubkik. Go to Muhammad to find out why he's crying. Allah knows. You know why? His people. Ummati, ummati. He cares. He saved his dua until Yom Qiyamah. For what? Because some of his people will be in the hellfire. Ummati, ummati. And he would be shafa'. He will be intercession for some of his people in the hellfire. So I just conclude by asking you, begging you, please be concerned about the people. Our job here in Dallas, we got some of the best masjids. You know, Dallas is the envy of the Muslims in America. You know that? No, you are, seriously. If it weren't for my community, I moved here to Dallas. Don't tell them I said that. That's between you and I. That's our business. But you got everything. You got a beautiful masjid. Our masjid been there, alhamdulillah. It's not the most beautiful masjid. It's an active masjid. It's not the most beautiful masjid, you know what I mean? Not like the masjids that you have here. But you know what? The people in the neighborhood, they love us. I remember when we first came there, you know, this one, the commander of the precinct, police said, Mr. Wahaj, that this is one of the worst parts of the city. Drugs. I think they had 12 drug houses on the block of our masjid. And Allah blessed us to close down those drug houses. And I remember one day I'm sitting in the masjid, an African-American woman, elderly woman, says, can I come in? I said, yes. She said, I'm a whole witness. She said, you know what? I used to hate the Muslims. Now I love the Muslims. When we first moved in our neighborhood of our masjid, there was not one Muslim business. Now there's over 45. When we closed down those drug houses, every major newspaper in the world came to interview us, because that's unheard of. The brothers and sisters from the Nation of Islam did things like that on a regular basis. All they need now is to tweak the Aqidah. We can help them do it. I do it. I speak to Minister Farrakhan every opportunity I get. I speak to Minister Farrakhan, trying to encourage him and his community. So my message today is, yes, believe, yes, make salah, yes, fast, of course. But on the other hand, please care about the people. Allah didn't just bring us for ourselves, in my opinion, but also for the people. So I thank you very much for listening, alhamdulillah. I'm not going to belabor it anymore. Anyone have any statements they'd like to make or any questions they'd like to ask? Feel free. Yes, ma'am.
How would you go about approaching people who you may not necessarily know how receptive they are, or you don't know them?
How to what?
How would you go about approaching people where you're not really familiar with them, so you're not sure how receptive they are? Just kind of.
I think it's a fair question, right? You have to pick your moments, you know, without being intrusive, right? Like I did on the plane. Just you find a way to have a conversation, or you can, friends you may know, non-Muslim friends, you can invite them to the masjid, have a program in the masjid. But I think that the more you think about it, the more you would do it. You know, you would, you always, I'm on a plane, right? And honestly, I'm not trying to make a convert. I get up and, we just land. I get my luggage and I ask the person next to me, is that your luggage? I say, yeah, I get the luggage for them. That's who we are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting them the luggage so they can take shahada. You know what I'm saying? But I'm getting because I genuinely care about people. Care about people. When I see people, drunk people and stuff like that, I care about them. Something's happened to us, we don't even care. You don't care. That castle. At least we don't do what we say that stink castle. At least we don't do that no more. We just say that castle. So I just think that when you care, sister, honestly, you'll find a way. You'll find a way in a very natural way to talk to people. I like to play basketball. Any brothers play basketball? Well, mashallah. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you play the shake, who win?
You.
I would win. I played basketball, right? In my junior high school and college. I love basketball. I used to think, when I was young, boy, if I could play in the NBA and make millions of dollars, right? Wallahi, give me a choice. Play in the NBA, National Basketball Association. We got to tell the sisters, right? Play in the NBA and make millions of dollars, or do what I do as an imam of a masjid and make pennies. I would choose this. It's not even close, right? The joy of serving Allah's slaves. Because if I play basketball, right? Michael Jordan, one of the best. Michael Jordan's basketball player. Oh, you know. They know. But think about it, right? How many of you like Michael Jordan as a player? Okay, good, right? But think about it, right? What did Michael Jordan do for us?
Nothing.
I mean, really?
Say be like Mike.
Like Mike, I know, right? But I'm saying, but Muhammad alayhi salatu wa salam, what he did for us.
More than Michael Jordan.
Of course, no. Yes. But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think, what do the people think about the Muslims? What do they think about this? You see, either they read something in newspapers or television about Muslims, or they know some Muslims got some bad experiences. You see, let me give you an example. I'm walking down the street, a block from my masjid, right? And I notice about 50 feet in front of me, 4 Muslim men smoking cigarettes. I know what's gonna happen. When they see me, they're gonna throw the cigarettes away. You know what that's called? Consciousness of guilt. If nothing is wrong with it, why are you hiding it? Right? You keep on smoking. So if you don't want to take the fatwa from the shuyukh that is haram, okay. Take the word of the World Health Organization. They said if the nations of the world do nothing about it by the end of the 21st century, 1 billion people would have died as a result of smoking cigarettes. Come on, man. Alcohol, drugs. There's some areas in Philadelphia where the Muslims control the drugs. So all I'm saying, I don't want to beat a dead horse, that we got to do better. I think that we can. Thank you so much for your time. May Allah bless you. I hope that you benefit from this gathering. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.